Credence.
By Penelope Douglas. Penelope, you horny ma'am.
So, the universe picked this book for me. And that's why I kept reading it.
The
because
universe
I
is
was
horny
like...
too?
So we did the Barnes & Noble thing, right? Where you go, it's completely wrapped up, and I trusted the trees. It had little cute drawings of trees on it.
On the wrapping?
Yes.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, trees!
So they
What could
gotcha.
go wrong?
And it had a little tagline that said, they're not technically related.
And you knew exactly.
Instantly. But that piqued your interest because you're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I'm interested because the cover of this book also has lots of trees on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that trees has nothing to do with this pornography novel?
No, not that it has nothing to do with it.
Oh.
It's that I just thought it would be a totally different read.
You can't trust the trees.
That's true. I'm not bashing if you like to read smut, but this was a little bit much for me. So I also didn't read the back of it before I started it. So I was like, Credence. Her name's not Credence. Her name's not Credence. Okay. Her name is Tiernan. First cringe moment.
Tiernan.
First.
And this is modern day, America?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I feel like this is some, Fae universe.
Yeah, I would think that too. No, Tiernan de Haas is her name.
On Earth?
Like Katniss Everdeen?
Where's she from?
California.
Good grief. California.
Your follow-up question was on Earth.
I meant, what on Earth?
I know, but you did not say it. You just
on
said,
Earth?
you were asking, that's her name on Earth?
Yes. Okay. Bless her heart. She's 17. Her parents are big stars, big movie stars.
Oh, California. Hollywood.
Yeah. Okay. So she has been to different countries and seen the world. But her parents are super messed up. And so I gave her a lot of grace in this book because she is mentally
not stable.
Doesn't have a good
because of her parents.
Okay.
Her parents were so obsessed with each other, and so they're like, let's have a baby. And then they realized that baby took away from each other, and so they're like, we're not really going to pay attention to you. We find out that her dad had cancer and was not going to survive, so her mother and her father decided to not be alive anymore together.
And leave Tiernan all alone?
Yep, didn't leave her a note.
Oh,
nothing.
Very impressed you remembered her name.
Yeah. So, her mom's assistant has always felt so bad for her and really gave her a lot of love that she did not get from her parents. They really basically ignored her. So, no affection, no nothing. Okay? So, her parents pass away, and she is not 18 yet. So, her uncle, her father's stepbrother, is now hey, I just heard that this guy died, even though we haven't talked in years. I'm super sorry about that. You can come stay with us if you want. We're technically your family-ish, but you're 18 in a few weeks. I'm totally good if you want nothing to do with me, and you do your own thing.
And she had never met her step-uncle?
Nope. Never. I don't even know if she'd heard of him.
Okay.
So,
okay, but this is verified
that
they're related. It's not just some creep on the
right.
Oh, famous person's daughter. Yeah. Okay.
He's a nice dude. He's we live in Colorado, up in the mountains. Is a totally different life than in California, but if you want to get away, hey, whatever. So she decides to go, kind of on a whim. And, before the funeral, before anything. And so she gets there, and he picks her up, and she doesn't really talk. She gets to the house. The uncle's name is Jake. He's in his 40s. Good-looking dude. She notices that. He has 2 sons who are in their early and mid-20s. There's Noah, who's younger, and Caleb. They repair bikes and RVs and different things and then ship them back off. But they live very remote in this mountain area. He says, hey, You can be here as long as you want. In a couple weeks, though, when the first snow hits, we're up on the mountain and we can't leave the mountain for several months. She's like, okay, yeah, I probably won't stay that long. Also, major Twilight vibes. I made a whole list of things that are in this book that are also in Twilight. Just the way she is, like a skinny, beautiful white girl who is a little bit awkward. Then the trees and the overall feeling of the ha 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 ha.
Oh my
What
gosh.
is that?
What
does that mean?
do that song over like the intro of this or something?
I don't even know what song that is.
That's from
Oh.
that's like the Twilight song.
Ha ha ha.
I've
know
obviously
it.
not trained you well.
Let me
You've
look it up. You know it. Maybe I'll just do
It's like a thing.
Oh, yes, you know it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you do. You're just
You're the
fooling us.
uncultured swine this time around.
Yeah, it's usually me.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay, now your turn to sing it.
Nope.
Okay. What happens first? Let's see.
Which sex scene?
Yeah, who does she sleep with first?
Caleb. Jake is the uncle. Who's the other brother?
Noah.
Okay.
No.
Noah is like super happy-go-lucky, talks to her a lot, and is very like nice. Jake is stereotypical dude, dad. They never wear any shirts. Caleb is not there when she arrives, and they're like, yeah, he's like, don't mess with him kind of thing. He has not spoken a word out loud since he was 4 years old.
The hell? How?
Mhm.
Why? You'll tell me.
So Caleb doesn't talk. The mom is in jail. We don't know why either.
Since he was 4?
I don't know, around then. And like Jake, she like hears him having relations with someone through the door. Like they just have girls over there all the time.
The dad's just okay with this?
Uh-huh.
They're
Yeah.
in their
And it
20s.
doesn't.
And the dad has a
Oh,
girl
okay.
over in her 20s and stuff.
Ugh.
Lots of cringe moments where I'm like, the hell? That's not okay. That's not healthy. And so then she gets up in the middle of the night at some point, and Caleb comes home with blood all over him because he was hunting.
Oh, okay.
He sees her and he immediately tries to initiate things with her.
Was he under the influence or anything?
Nope. And I think he, like, girls are up there all the time that he just is like, oh, fresh meat.
Oh, because
You obviously want to sleep with me.
he didn't know who she
didn't
was.
know who she was.
Oh, okay.
Didn't know who she was. But also she says, stop it, many times, and he does not. And, but she also likes it, because messed up because of her parents and the book. So that's a weird encounter. They don't actually do anything, but weird.
You felt the need to come back when we started talking about sex.
Sex? What?
Pardon?
I'm so fascinated by his select mutism.
That's what kept me reading as well. I'm like, well, might as well figure this kid out.
Like, I'm interested to know that. But, like, he has girls over all the time, and he just, like, do they know sign? Is he just, like,
No.
goes off his looks and is like,
Yep.
just, like, goes in for a kiss? Like, doesn't say anything? Yeah, exactly. Like, me, you? Like,
Yeah. So
Like,
weird. And it's like, they're like known. It's like, oh, it's Caleb. Like, you can sleep with him. Like, they're hot. Blah, blah, blah. They also are like very protective of her. Like, you're ours. Don't trust the guys in town. Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay. And there's a guy. What's his name? There's no way I can be able to find it. I'm going to call him Terrence because I know I'm close if it's not Terrence. So there's a guy in town, Terrence, who like sees her and is like, oh, she's new, wanna get together, etc. She goes on like a hike when they're all away, and Terrence shows up and like follows her, and she's about to let him do stuff to her, and the boys show up and Caleb beats him up. And they're like, he is bad news. Has a list of girls in town, like, that they do horrible things to. Like, he's not good. Stay away from him.
Prior to moving to Colorado, was she, like, sexually experienced?
Nope.
So she's just like,
this feels good. This feels like love. This book should not be romanticized whatsoever. It is not healthy whatsoever. Any part of it. I don't care if it's the way it ends is good or not.
oh, so it has a happy ending. Welcome back.
And I read that too. I was like, the people are like, I love how it ended. And I'm like, what? Noah does motocross stuff. Motorcycles, another Twilight thing. She goes home for the funeral and is like, should I just stay? I don't know if I belong there, but, like, that's kind of the first place I've ever found love, essentially. So she goes back, and the assistant, her mom's assistant, is always kind of checking in on her and letting her know what, like, the tabloids are saying about her parents and all this stuff. And she has money. And so the boys take her out for her 18th birthday because it's right before the snow's going to fall. One last trip to town. They go to a bar, and because in Colorado it's legal to drink if you're on private property or something, if you're 18. I don't know. So they go to a bar, all three of them, and it's her 18th birthday, and she starts dancing with this, like, bachelorette group, and Terrence and his hoodlums kind of surround her and don't let the boys see that they're about to, like, kind of take her. And Caleb obviously sees that, and they all go and they get in a big, huge fight. They get in the truck to go up the mountain, and Caleb is very hot-tempered. He just, like, does things. He just does whatever he wants. So he goes and runs over all their motocross bikes, because they're into motocross as well.
I mean, he doesn't need to talk when he just...
Yeah, he
effective.
lets his feelings be shown, yes. So they're, like, in trouble. The cops are after them because he just damaged all their stuff. And they go up, and there's snow that's falling, and so they get up the mountain barely, and people can't follow them. And they're up there for the remainder of the winter. Of course, it's been a week or two that they haven't been with ladies, so of course they start looking at their cousin. Noah and Caleb are both home, and Jake is not there for some reason, and she almost lets them all just have a happy time together. Okay?
The brothers?
Yeah.
And the brothers are okay with this?
Uh-huh. And
not the first time.
But so far she's said no to all of it, right? So she's technically...
Yeah.
Still a virgin.
Yeah, she is still a virgin. But they all want to be the one to take that away from her. Okay? Jake comes in and stops it and gets all mad. But then the next day, they're all bonding, her and Jake, and she sleeps with Jake.
He's the first one.
Uh-huh. I honestly can get past the whole, that's her step-uncle or whatever. That's not what weirded me out. It's just grossness of their relationship and the language that they use and, like, you're ours. She talks about how the only advice her mom ever gave her was, it's lust, learn, and love. Like, that's the 3 men you date in your life. Is the first one is just pure lust. The second one, you learn something about yourself. So then the third one, you, like, really can love them and everything.